Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Inside View Real Estate Podcast. Today we're talking about how to build generational wealth. You're absolutely going to get a ton of value out of this. I will see you on the inside. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, no matter what time it is. Hope that you, my friends, are having another amazing day. Today's going to be a great day. You know why?
Yes.
Talking about generational wealth, baby.
I love this topic.
One of my favorite topics.
Yeah.
Hands down.
It's the number one topic.
And so let me get a little animated here because I think this is really fucking important.
Yeah.
You have a duty and an obligation as a man to build generational wealth for your family or as a woman. Mm-hmm. Like if you're a single mom, this is your duty and obligation to your kids for generations to come. Okay. Talk about generational wealth. Who are some really big people that are, really big in this? Rockefellers. Right? That's the Walton family. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we're getting to real shit. Mm-hmm. And so when people are really, looking at, I'm just going to buy a house for me, for the next 3-5 years. Bullshit. You should be talking about like the next 50, 100 years, 200 years, generations ahead of you. Right. That's your duty and obligation as an American. That's what we do. It's called the American fucking dream, right? And the American dream is going away. Why? Because people aren't buying houses. Institutions are. You have people from fucking China coming in and buying all our shit. Why? Because we as Americans aren't. We gave up on the American dream, and I'm fucking sick of it. Like, straight up.
Real talk, guys. Real talk.
And I feel like this is our duty as podcasters that have a small voice to actually talk about this shit.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the voice, right? So, to some credits, that's not everybody's reality, right? To even think about what is generational wealth and how do you actually accumulate wealth? How do you even go above and beyond and actually do better for myself?
It's selfish as shit,
right?
It's selfish.
Case in point, why wasn't that taught to us? So there's a mindset I'm talking about. So there's a mindset around money that's never taught to us, that's never educated in our school systems. And if it wasn't learned at home, I was very grateful that it was learned at home with my parents and with my families. They were kind of like the forefront of the family to figure it out, right? And then that was transposed onto us, as kids, which is great. I'm very grateful for that, right? But my father finally started seeing a tick in what other people were doing when they were owning a business and when he was purchasing real estate. His first real estate transaction, he made $27,000, and he was like, holy shit, I'm onto something. Mm-hmm. And then boom, here comes a portfolio. And that's what we learned too.
So let me talk about what Ed Mylett talks about a lot. Mm-hmm. Talks about the one in your family that is going to change shit forever.
Absolutely.
I happen to be the one, right? You are probably the second one. Your father was the one.
Yeah.
But now you have the legacy to build, right? And so Josh Zuniga is going to have a legacy for his children and his children's children and the generation after that and after that and after that. Why? Because we're doing shit now in 2022 to set everybody up, right? That's called security. Mm-hmm. That's called the American dream. That's called the duty and obligation to our fucking family. And I take that shit really seriously, legitimately, right? So when people are like, hey, I'm going to go, fucking travel the world in Europe and I don't need to buy a house right now. I'm like, the fuck you do? What are you doing? Buy a house, put a renter in there, let them pay the mortgage and shit. When you come back from Europe and fucking around for 2 years, move in and then use that as a primary residence for 2 years and then sell that shit, split it off into two and then do that again. And then, talk about doing some trusts and stuff. So what are some things that because I know you're doing it right now.
Yeah.
What are some things that you're doing now? What are moves that you're making as Josh, a very successful entrepreneur and real estate investor, somebody that's investing into his family because that's his duty and obligation as an American and as a, father. What are you doing right now to make sure that your family is set up for life?
Yeah. Let me rewind back to a conversation that my father had with me in high school in our kitchen. Okay. So he told me, he's like, son, when you start making money, there's only 3 things you have to worry about, right? Don't be smart with your money. Invest. And the only thing you need to worry about is retirement. The day you start working is the only thing you have to worry about is retirement. And not just retirement from myself and my personal, gain, but what he meant by that is how are you setting yourself up and how are you setting your family up, right? And that's exactly what we're talking about today is generational wealth. So in the back of my mind, since I was, I think 16 or 17, that has always been the goal. And when I turned 18, I planned on doing real estate and just boom, taking off. But 2008 happened. So my 10-year plan was
Shit.
effed.
Yeah.
I'm going to say effed.
All right.
It was screwed, right?
Yep.
So then my plan was paused, right? And then in 2015, I jumped back into it and like, here we go. So my whole responsibility and the only thing I really care about and focus on is being very intelligent in the market that I'm in and knowing how to buy properties right and turn those into residual income, right?
Mhm.
And figuring out how many number of houses do I need to own or how many different types of investments do I need to own in order for me to get to $20,000 a month retirement,
Yep.
$50,000 a month retirement. And what is my goal and how am I setting that up every single month and every single year in order to have this for my family? Like I told Sabri, we aren't going to be working past 40 years old. Like that's the plan. We already have it in stone. It's already in our minds. It's already in our mindset. We live a very, I don't want to say humble, but we live a very smart lifestyle. We do like to have fun and go out and treat ourselves, but we also bust our ass, right? To do over 50 transactions, almost 60 transactions in a year is a lot of hard work. And thank God I have the team, in place to help me with that and everybody involved in the partnerships, relationships with you. You help me out quite a bit, but setting up a trust is one of those things, right? If something happens to me, who's it all going to go to? Is it just going to just flop around or is it just going to be just dispersed, however it wants? No, it needs to go to my wife and it needs to go to my children and then my children's children. And setting up a trust and figuring out the right real estate attorney to help you set that up is vital, okay? It even doesn't even matter if you own real estate now. You definitely want to have something like that in place for, God knows what's going to happen, right? Life happens. Additional to that, if you're investing, I highly recommend that you have a holding company, right? I know that's one of the things that my real estate attorney told me is like have a holding company and have your other LLCs in there. Everybody can do it differently and structure it differently, but that's one of the main things that you definitely want to have set up and considered. If you don't even have an LLC yet, highly recommend you open up an LLC just to start buying investments instead of doing it outside of your name. Whether you're doing wholesaling, whether you're doing flipping, or whether you're trying to buy rental properties, you want to have some type of protection legally through an LLC and then additional protection through like a holding company. And then you have another one through like a trust to help you set up, because if something happens in real estate, and it's not if, it's when shit happens.
Oh yeah.
You will be exposed and they will come after your personal income.
Yes. Yeah.
So
It's really important too, because I've had, unfortunately, I know people that are very young that have died with assets, right?
yes.
And so their families are left with nothing, like nothing. They don't have any residual income. They've got a little bit of equity in the home, but they can't even make the mortgage, right? So they got to sell and downsize and live in an apartment with kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's not cool. So like think about this shit now. Really, really important.
Yeah. And I want to go back to like mindset, guys, because if you were born in 1990 and above, or born with the internet, or even now, even if you weren't born with the internet, but I just happen to be 32 years old and grew up with
born
it.
in the 70s.
All right, Brent, so there you go. All right.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different there, right? But you still have all the same opportunities and access to information that everybody does, including myself. The only difference is that somebody chooses to do something with it and somebody chooses not to do something with it, right? So how Carl was very passionate in the beginning, he's like, don't waste your time, okay? Do what you need to do to set yourself up now and set your family up, okay? There's so much possibility out there for one human being. It's up to you to wake up in the morning, take that responsibility for yourself, go out there and create those opportunities, shake hands, take people to lunch, go to coffee, and figure it out, okay? Like, life doesn't just happen for you, it happens to you, right? And you have to put the action into place in order to create that type of energy and type of flow that's going to flow back into your life, right? But you have to have the balls, right? And I say that whether you're a man or a woman, you got to have the balls, you got to sack up, you got to nut up and go out there every single day and just crush it, okay? And have your family in mind and that generational wealth. I was like, as the goal, what do I got to do? What do I have to do to set my family up? That's going to be your additional purpose behind why you wake up every single morning. And that's something that I do and I have every single day. And that's why I do what I do. And I still wake up at 5 a.m. and I don't have to, I choose to. Same with you. I don't have to wake up at 5. I choose to because I know I have a responsibility to my family and I'm going to fucking execute.
Hell yeah.
I said it. I'm going to fucking execute. Said the F word, sorry, but that's just how passionate I am about setting up my family and even setting up my current family, my brothers and sisters, mom and dad. Yeah, that's the main driver. And I want that to have I want you guys to have that same passion. Even if it starts with yourself, do it now. If you're a young man, if you're a young woman, have that in the back of your mind. Okay. You have so much opportunity, you have so much possibility, and this is your time. This is your time to create your life, to create your destiny, or else it's going to be washed away. You're just going to walk through life. Don't walk through life. Take advantage of it.
100%.
Yeah.
Fucking nailed it, man.
Nice. Thank you again. Hey guys, that was a good episode.
Like and subscribe.
Really, yeah. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you tuning into this one. If you guys have additional questions, we can put you into our accountants, real estate attorneys, in order to get some additional information on that. But until the next episode, we'll see you on the inside. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things. We want to continue to bring value to you every single episode. But until next time, see you on the inside.